We are reviewing for your literal and linear equations worksheet, so solving basic equations and rearranging four variables in certain problems. Okay, in this first one here, just get right to it. We have like terms on the same side of the equal sign. That means I can combine them immediately and get a negative 3x. The right-hand side hasn't changed, negative 18. To get it by itself, to get x by itself, I need to divide both sides by negative 3. X will equal positive 6. In this one, same thing. I have like terms on this side, so that'll give me a 6x. And I also have this, or I'm sorry, not a 6x, because that's a 4x and a negative 2x. So 4x minus 2x gives you 2x. I have a positive 6 still left over, so I keep it there. And here I need to distribute through that 2. So that'll be a 2x plus 6. Now we have the exact same thing on both sides with equal sign. That means that this is going to be infinite solutions. Infinite solutions. If you weren't sure about that, what you could have done, you could have gone one step further, subtracted 6 from both sides. You would have also subtracted 2x from both sides, and you would have gotten 0 equals 0. That is a true statement as well. So as long as you get something that has the exact same on the left and right, you can say infinite solution. Okay, in number 3. First, I like moving the x's before I like moving the numbers. I can't combine like terms here because they're on opposite sides of the equal sign. So I'm going to add an x to both sides. I could have subtracted this x to bring it to the left as well. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that goes away. I'm left with 24 on the left equals 2x minus 16. That means now I'll add 16 to both sides and get 40 is equal to 2x, which means my answer here when I divide by 2 will be 20 equals x. Alright, 4 and 5, we're going to be doing some cross multiplying. This one's actually really easy because I can assume that this is just a 3 divided by 1 for cross multiplying. So when I cross multiply, I get negative 63 equals 1x, or just equals x. So x equals negative 63 is your answer. Okay, in this one, I'm going to cross multiply with 5x. And I'm going to cross multiply, remember, it's 2 times this entire thing, 3x minus 1. So 5x will equal 6x minus 2. I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. And that's going to give me here that negative x equals negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 1. So x will equal positive 2 in that problem. Okay, number 6, same thing as here in number 2, we need to distribute through first. So I have 5x plus 12 on the left, that hasn't changed, equals 12 minus 3x. I'm going to notice here, well, it doesn't matter which order you go. Let's do this first. Let's say I'm going to move the x's first. That's why I like moving first. So I'll move 3x. I'd rather add a 3x than subtract a 5x from both sides. So that'll give me 8x plus 12 equals 12. Now I need to get rid of the numbers. Subtract 12 from both sides. Leaves me with 8x equals 0. Divide both sides by 8 to give you x equals 0. Okay, a couple options in number 7. First off, I can see minus a negative. Is this going to become plus a positive? So saying 2x plus 4 equals negative 12. Now I can subtract 4 from both sides, giving you 2x equals negative 16. Divide both sides by 2 and get x equals negative 8. The other thing you could have done if you didn't know that plus positive, well, I'm subtracting negative 4. That means I should have added negative 4 to both sides. So I could have said add negative 4 to both sides, and that would have done the exact same thing. Okay, cross multiplying again here. Okay, the one cross multiply will give you just 2x minus 7, because 2x times 1 and 7 times 1. And then x times 3 is 3x. Negative 9 times 3 is negative 27. So now let's move the x's first. I'd rather subtract a 2x from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 2x and give me negative 7 equals x minus 27. And here I'll add 27 to both sides. And I'll have an answer of x will equal, excuse me, 27. What do we got here? It should have been, I'm sorry, that's my apologies. On your problem, it should be x plus 9. So that would mean this is x plus 27. So that means I'd be subtracting 27 from both sides. So negative 7 minus 27 will give you negative 34 for your answer. Okay, and this last one here, 8x over 2 equals 20. A couple different things you could do. If you cross multiply, you would get 40 equals 8x, because remember this is 20 over 1 again, kind of like a number 4. Okay, and if I divide both sides by 8, then I'm going to get that 5 is equal to x. Well, something else you could have noticed right away maybe, 8 over 2 can reduce. That can just become 4 over 1, which means I just have 4x equals 20. Well, divide both sides by 4, and you get x equals 5 the exact same way. Okay? Here's some literal equations. All you have to do to solve this first one, it should be y plus x is equal to 28. We want to solve it for y. So here's y. That's what I want to solve for. So what I'm going to do is I see I have this other term, something else added or subtracted. So I need to get rid of it first from both sides of the equal sign. So that goes away, leaves me with y equals 28 minus x. So y is not by itself, so you're done. Okay, in this one, c is equal to pi times the diameter. Yeah, I don't have a good button to type out pi. C equals pi times diameter, solving it for diameter, solving it for d. Well, here's d. It's attached to the pi. How is it attached? By multiplication. So to undo that, I need to divide both sides by that pi. So I'm going to have that c divided by pi is equal to my diameter. D is now by itself, so we are good. Okay, 7 plus 2k equals 5m, solving it for k. So here again is where my k is. First off, are there any other terms on this left-hand side? Yes, there is. There's the 7. I need to get rid of the 7 first. So when I do that, subtracting 7, because it's a positive 7 to begin with, I get 2k is equal to, I can't combine an m and a 7, so I just leave it as 2m minus 7. Okay, so now the k is the only term over here. I now need to get it completely by itself. It's attached to the 2, so I'll divide both sides by 2. So k will equal 5m minus 7, all divided by 2. Make sure you have everything divided by 2, not just one term. Okay, a plus b equals c, solving for b. Again, here's your b right here. The only thing on the other side, or on the same side with it, is this a. So I need to subtract a from both sides to get rid of a positive a. So b will equal c minus a, and I'm done just right there. Okay, y divided by 78 equals w, and we want to solve for y. Again, here's the y. It's the only term on this side, because there's nothing else added or subtracted. So all I have to look at, well, it's being divided by 78, so I need to multiply both sides by 78 to undo that. So that cancels those out and leaves me with y equals w times 78, or which is more commonly written as 78w. In 15, again, the x term is already by itself. There's no other x's, but we need to get rid of what it's attached to by multiplication, which is a and c. So I will divide by a, and I will also divide by c, because they're both attached by multiplication. If I do it to the left side, I better do it to the right. So x will equal 4 divided by ac. 16, also very straightforward. Here's the x, it's the only term over there, so I need to get rid of what it's attached to, which is the negative 2. It's attached by multiplication, that's why I divide. So x will equal w over negative 2. 17, to solve for m. There's m right there. There is another term on that side though, so I need to first get rid of this extra term of b. So I'll subtract b from both sides. I can't combine a y and a b, so I'm just going to leave it as y minus b equals mx. From here, again, to get m by itself, m is the only term over here, but I have this x attached to it. So I need to divide everything by x so the x's cancel out. So y minus b over x is what is equal to m. Okay, home stretch, 3 more to go. To get x by itself here, it's the only term, and it's attached to 24. So divide both sides by 24. And it'll leave me with x equals negative 6 over 24, which I can reduce to be negative 1 over 4. So this one, I actually get that an actual number. And all these other ones, we had other variables still floating around. So a literal equation is actually could actually be just a regular linear equation. It's very possible for that to happen. Not very common, but it is possible. Okay, solve this one for x. X divided by y equals w. This is kind of like we had here in 14. X is already the only term there. I just need to multiply both sides by y to be able to get the x by itself. That way those cancel and leaves you with x equals w times y, it's wy. Okay, and 20, very similar to 17, and a good one to try to practice a couple times here. This time we want to solve for x. Well, same way as we did in number 17, this term of b is added on to the thing with the side that x is. So I need to first get rid of all those other terms, get rid of that b. So I have y minus b is equal to mx. And then just like before, here's your x. It's still attached with the m, so I need to divide both sides by m. So I'm going to get here for my final answer, y minus b divided by m is what is equal to x. There you have it. Best of luck. Make sure you study. Make sure you watch this video and do your best on it.